A month ago, if you were paying attention, you would have heard Cathie Wood say this.
What I do think is, and we have some of these, that private funds are going to sift through the thousands out there and probably find, 20 or 30.
And then this week, we got this news.
A better experience for many of the use cases I covered, like gaming, like payments, micropayments. This can do it. Ethereum can't. That's why VanEck is backing Solana big time. So shout out to the team at VanEck.
A Solana ETF. Did Cathie Woods let the cat out of the bag? Or are the institutions trying to throw us off? Find out today. Let's get it. I'm not a financial advisor. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, BitBoy. If you want to learn more about crypto and how to play the crypto markets, put yourself and your family in a better position financially, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the like button if you find value in this video. Asset managers VanEck and 21 Shares filed applications for spot Solana ETFs. The odds it will be approved is something I'm going to get into later, but first, I want to talk about BlackRock. So far, there's only speculation that they're going to file too. But if we know anything about BlackRock, it's probably that they won't want to miss out on the action if it comes. On a call with investors on July 1st, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says he wants BlackRock to index the private markets by bringing the principles of iShares indexing. We know that BlackRock already went into the private market with their spot Bitcoin ETF, which was approved. The Ethereum application was filed even before the Bitcoin ETF was approved in January. The article says, now the new potential product is a Solana ETF. VanEck and 21 Shares have filed their 19B4 applications for the offering, and the other crypto ETF filers are expected to follow suit. With BlackRock's recent talks about indexing the private market, the investment asset management firm may just be next in line for a Solana ETF. But there's one catch to all this, and that's the one thing standing in the way of crypto adoption, the lizard man, Gary himself, Gary Gensler in the SEC.
Your education responsibility at the SEC, particularly about those investments that are non-compliant with either the securities laws or commodities laws and so forth. So here we have an asset class, all of these 15, 20,000 crypto tokens, many of which, without prejudging anyone, many of which are actually something called investment contracts or securities.
There it is. He thinks many cryptocurrencies are securities, but VanEck believes Solana is going to get the green light.
Big elephant in the room here is how regulators would treat Ethereum versus Solana versus Bitcoin. How much concern do you have about the regulatory disapproval of Solana versus how they treat Ethereum?
Well, one thing that Gary Gensler said at your conference last week, which was not in that soundbite, it was that the Ethereum applications are going smoothly. And this might be the only time in 3 years that I've agreed with Gary Gensler about something. But if these products are allowed to trade, then that confirms that Ethereum is a commodity. And the same thing will be true of Solana.
While experts predict that approval is unlikely under the current administration, the filings have nonetheless fueled optimism and a price surge for Solana's coin, SOL. Except you're not always out of luck with it. But what we don't know is whether the SEC is going to label Solana as security and reject the application.
This is a field, Becky, that's been rife with fraud and manipulation. And look at all the bankruptcies. And you've had on this set people talking about those various bankruptcies. And it's not just one entity, it's entity after entity after entity. And then investors are just lining up in the bank.
Investors are just lining up in the bankruptcy court. But like Joe said, investors have also lost their shirt in the stock market. So is investing in crypto really that different? To answer that, we have to look at the three major roadblocks for SEC approval of the Solana ETF. And the first is lawsuits. You might remember that in June of 2023, the SEC filed lawsuits against Binance and Coinbase, alleging that they offered unregistered securities, which included Solana. Second is ETF skepticism. JP Morgan and other financial analysts believe that the SEC's approval of Ethereum ETFs is already a stretch, and they doubt that the SEC will approve Solana or other token ETFs. And third is regulatory uncertainty. We still don't have the clear guidelines for regulation of cryptocurrencies in the US. It's been debated ad nauseum, but nothing has been decided, which casts even more doubt. Will it be rejected first? Those are the reasons the Solana ETF might not be approved, but what about a scenario where it gets rejected first or just delayed? An article in the block outlines something that I think could happen. It says, while JP Morgan isn't too optimistic about the SEC approving other crypto ETFs, some analysts have said the recent clearance of spot Ethereum ETFs means the market could see more crypto ETFs tied to other cryptocurrencies and tokens. Last week, Standard Chartered Bank's Jeffrey Kendrick said he expects the approval of Solana and XRP ETFs in 2025. TD Cowen's Jared Seiberg said the market could see more crypto ETFs, including an ETF offering with a basket of crypto tokens within a year. Looking to level up your baskets of crypto tokens using leverage trading or even spot trading? Click my affiliate link for Phemex on the screen or down below in the description. But what about the Canadian ETF? Isn't that a positive sign? Canada's approval of a Solana ETF might seem promising for a similar product in the US. We have to remember that just like we differ from Canada in wanting to live in igloos and eat nothing but maple syrup, regulatory landscapes also differ a lot.
Can anyone explain, for example, why Fidelity Investments, one of America's best-known investment advisors, had to go to Canada to offer a Bitcoin ETF? Or why physically settled crypto ETFs are safe and legal in Germany, Brazil, Singapore, and elsewhere, but somehow not in the United States?
Canada and other countries that already approve crypto ETFs don't have Gary Gensler in the SEC and coincidentally have been more open to cryptocurrency regulation. Or maybe this isn't a coincidence at all. The Canadian Securities Administrators, or the CSA, have established a clear framework for crypto assets and trading platforms, which has allowed the approval of a bunch of crypto ETFs. The United States SEC has a much more cautious approach that does a lot of yapping about investor protection and market manipulation in crypto, which we know to be a cover-up for them just wanting to protect the overinflated US dollar and the fact that they can't have full control over what we do with it. While Canada's approval could potentially influence the SEC stance, I highly doubt it. The final decision will depend on regulatory developments and market conditions, so we'll have to stay tuned. Speaking of staying tuned, tune into the latest in crypto and talk with other members of the Bit Squad about issues like these in our Discord. Link is down below in the description and we'll pop one on the screen. That's all I got. Be blessed. BitBoy out.